We've just spent 8 days cruising through the breathtaking Norwegian fjords on Celebrity Apex, our very first time sailing with Celebrity Cruises. So, what did we love about our experience, and what didn't quite hit the mark? Stay tuned as I share the highlights and a few surprises from this scenic journey through Norway's stunning fjords. It's coming up. Hi fellow travelers, I'm Ken and welcome back to Ken Travels 360. It was about 2 years ago that we started planning a Norwegian Fjords cruise. And back then, we looked at all the options. Several cruise lines sailed this route. But in the end, we chose Celebrity because the itinerary has the best mix of ports we actually wanted to visit. Now that we've experienced the first 7 days on board, I can give you a clear sense of whether Celebrity is a good choice for a fjords cruise and what makes this particular itinerary stand out. One of the biggest reasons that I'm glad that we have picked Celebrity was exactly this itinerary. Take Odin, for example. Our ship docked right in town, deep inside the field. But some of the other ships we met were out in Nordfjordeid, which meant that passengers had to travel over an hour just to get to the same places we could reach straight away, like Loen or the Brekstad Glacier. The same happened at Geiranger. We were docked right in the heart of the action, while some ships anchored at Hellesøy, much further away. Even better, every single port on this cruise was a dock. There was no tender boats needed. That made getting on and off the ship effortless. It even meant we could pop back on board for a relaxing lunch and then head back out for our afternoon excursions without feeling rushed. Now, let's talk about something very important, the food. Whether it was breakfast or lunch in the Ocean View Cafe or dinner in the main dining room, the food quality on Celebrity Apex has been consistently excellent. It's definitely a step above what we've experienced on Princess or Royal Caribbean. What we really liked was the concept of 4 different main dining rooms, each with its own theme and exclusive menu items. We dined at all of them during the cruise, and even though the exclusive items are actually available across the other dining rooms if you ask, the atmosphere and style of each one made it feel like a fresh experience every night. This cruise was also the first time we tried specialty dining, and we went for the fine cut steakhouse. Honestly, both the food and the service were top notch. From the appetizers to the dessert, it was spot on. I even tried to find something to nitpick, just for balance, but I genuinely couldn't fault it. Now, on to drinks, and here's where things start to feel a bit pricey. On this cruise, cocktails were priced around between $17 to $23, and even coffees can set you back around $5-6. So it makes a beverage package sounds like really good value. But here's the thing, we have had drink packages on past cruises, and we find we ended up drinking a lot more than we really wanted to, just to feel like we were getting our money's worth. And of course, you have to buy the package for every single day of the cruise. What's more, the basic drinks package doesn't even cover premium cocktails, and that means you will actually need the premium package to get access to those $23 drinks. That said, there are plenty of included options like juice, iced tea, filter coffee, and tea, but they're only available at the Ocean View Cafe on deck 14, so it can be a bit of a trek if you want to get a quick drink closer to your cabin. We were in a concierge class cabin, so we did get a bottle of sparkling wine included. And since Celebrity lets you bring 2 bottles of wine per cabin, we bought our own as well. Between these 3 bottles, plus some complimentary champagne and drinks at the hosted events, we ended up only buying a couple of cocktails over the whole cruise, and that felt just right for us. Let's talk about our cabin. There's been a lot said about the infinite veranda concept on celebrity ships, and after trying it, we can see both the pros and cons. Overall, I still prefer a traditional balcony, especially for warmer destinations. But on a cold weather itinerary like this one, the infinite veranda actually worked out fine. We could still enjoy the view while staying warm inside, and the large window did let in plenty of sunlight. That said, my main issue wasn't with the veranda itself, it was with the magic carpet. Our room was sold as having zero obstruction view, but when I was filming hyperlapses of us sailing in and out of the fjords, the magic carpet crept into the frame more than once. So if you're a keen photographer or you just like to take videos, it's something to be aware of. Aside from that, the cabin was excellent. The bed was incredibly comfortable and we had a good amount of living space. It's definitely more spacious and better appointed than the cabin we had on Royal Princess. It felt modern, clean, and thoughtfully designed, which made a big difference on an 8-day cruise. Now, when you cruise with Celebrity, you're probably not expecting the kind of adrenaline-filled attractions that you will find on Royal Caribbean, and that's absolutely fine. This itinerary was very port intensive, so we spent most days out exploring and wouldn't have had time for much else anyway. But come evening, Celebrity Apex really exceeded my expectations. There are 3 main production shows in the theater and they were all brilliantly done. Slick, modern and full of energy. The theater itself is a standout feature, with cutting-edge lighting, immersive sound design, and enormous curved LED screens that transform the stage into a genuinely captivating experience. Compared to the entertainment on Princess, the difference is night and day. Celebrities shows feel fresh and high-end, with strong vocals, creative choreography, and an overall polish that just elevates the whole experience. The headliner acts were also excellent. One evening, we saw Adam Trent, a magician who has been on Netflix and TV shows in the US, and he was fantastic, funny, engaging, and really impressive. It also helped that we happened to be on a President's Cruise, which meant there were loads of extra activities and special events, and even more entertainment than usual. That added a bit of sparkle to the whole experience and gave the cruise a celebratory feel. Overall, I was really impressed with the entertainment on Celebrity Apex. It was elegant, high quality, and a perfect match for the style of the ship and the itinerary. Now, let's talk about the service. And honestly, there is one area where Celebrity Apex really impressed us. The staff throughout the ship were consistently warm, professional, and attentive. Everyone, from the waiters to the housekeeping team, greeted us with a smile and seemed genuinely happy to help. It made a real difference to the overall atmosphere on board. Compared to our Princess Alaska cruise, the contrast was noticeable. On that trip, it felt like the ship might have been understaffed, especially at the bars, where we often had to wait quite a while to get served. On Apex, by contrast, the service felt well-paced and efficient, even when the ship was busy. Every time we sat down in the bar, a waiter would be coming around and ask what drinks we would like. The contrast is just unbelievable. Now, there had been a novel virus outbreak on the previous sailing on this ship, so enhanced health protocols were in place during our cruise. That included extra hygiene measures, especially in the Ocean View Cafe, where the buffet was no longer self-service. But the crew handled it all professionally and calmly, and it felt like a well-oiled operation. No fuss, no confusion, just smooth, careful service that helped keep everyone safe. All in all, the level of service on Celebrity Apex was exactly what you would hope for from a premium cruise line. Attentive but not intrusive, and clearly backed by a team that takes pride in their work. Now, you may have heard of Royal Caribbean's group's status matching. So, We are Royal Caribbean fans, and we're currently platinum level in their Quran and Anchor Society. Thanks to the program, we were given select status on celebrity cruises. The perks at select level aren't massive. Things like 10% off drinks package and spa, or 25% off Wi-Fi. We didn't actually use any of these, but what we did enjoy was access to some of the onboard events. We were invited to the welcome party, which came with free flowing champagne, as this was the President's Cruise. And Laura Hodges-Bethke was there in person to announce the details of the next President's Cruise during the party. If we'd been elite or higher, there would have been even more special events and gatherings to attend. Now, if you found this review helpful, do give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more cruise reviews, destination guides, and travel inspiration. Well, next, let's talk about the facilities and the overall condition of the ship, because this is where Celebrity Apex really stands out. There's so many great spaces on board. The rooftop garden is a real highlight. It's beautifully landscaped, peaceful, and perfect for watching the scenery go by as you sail through the fields. The sunset bar at the back of the ship quickly became one of our favorite hangouts, especially in the evenings. And then there's Eden, a truly unique multi-use space that's part lounge, part dining venue, and part performance space. It's stunning, especially with the floor-to-ceiling windows. In terms of condition, the ship is in absolutely tip-top shape. Everything feels modern, fresh, and immaculately maintained. You really get the sense that Celebrity takes pride in keeping things looking and feeling premium. One very pleasant surprise was that the main outdoor swimming pool is actually heated, something we didn't expect on a cold weather cruise, but very much appreciated. Add to that the indoor solarium with its own pool and hot tubs under a glass roof, you've got the perfect setup for a Norwegian Fjords itinerary. No matter the weather outside, there's always somewhere warm and relaxing to unwind. We were also quite lucky with the sea conditions for this cruise. The sailing has been mostly really smooth. Crossing the North Sea was uncharacteristically calm. There were a couple of times when the wind was quite strong and the captain just turned on the stabilizer of the ship, and I never felt any motion sickness. In short, this ship is just ideally suited for this itinerary, with plenty of thoughtfully designed spaces and features that let you enjoy the journey as much as the destinations. Embarkation in Southampton was mostly smooth. It was a bit busy going through security, but the lines moved quickly and we were on board in good time. One thing that we really liked was that you could go straight to your cabin with your hand luggage without waiting for an announcement. That meant no dragging bags around the buffet or hunting for a quiet corner to wait. It just made everything feel more civilized. The e-mustard drill was also exactly the same as what we have experienced with Royal Caribbean. Quick, easy, and done through the app and a short in-person check. Even though this was a fully booked sailing and a President's Cruise at that, the ship rarely felt crowded. Unless you were at one of the special events, there was always plenty of space to relax. That's a real credit to the ship's layout and design, with public spaces well distributed across the decks. Another unexpected bonus that we found was that there was almost no children on board. The sailing, was during school term time, and since Apex isn't packed with high-energy, kid-friendly attractions, most families with younger children will probably choose other lines. So if you're after a more adult-oriented cruising experience, this is an excellent choice. So, would I recommend Celebrity for a Norwegian Fjords cruise? Yes, absolutely. The combination of top-notch service, beautiful ship design, excellent food, and perfectly chosen ports make this a memorable trip. It's a refined, comfortable way to see some of the most spectacular scenery in Europe. Now, we stay in a concierge class cabin, which offers some upgraded amenities and extra perks. Is it worth the extra to upgrade? To find out our experience, watch this video next. Or if you would like to see more of what this cruise was like day by day, including port visits, scenic sail-ins, and what we got up to on board, check out the playlist from this trip. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy cruising!